Happy days and welcome back. Mr. Lee Tunnyware is back in the hot seat on, of course, our Extreme Business Set Mind series. We had about 2 or 3 weeks off, I think, although I was in Ireland in Lee's Airbnb for a couple of days. What a place! Don't want to throw an advert out there, but come on. I mean, listen, I live in the country, but your Airbnb is in the country. I mean, it is right up there, and trust me, a head torch is the most important thing you'll pack if you're going to go to Lee Tunneyware's Airbnb. But do look out for that. And this week's, Lee, thank you again for coming back in. I have this week's subject, which is, here we go. Does a business plan make any difference to a business? Now, yeah, I blew when I wrote it down because I've heard some of the most successful entrepreneurs in the world say, I've never done a business plan. Then you hear all the logistics saying you should do a business plan. Here's the thing, Lee, I never have. I've never done a business plan. What's your thoughts?
Before we go there, I want to show you my cup because this is I took this cup specifically out of the cupboard for you.
What's this?
Can you see what it says?
Hello, beautiful.
Which you say, they're beautiful.
We should always say to ourselves, and you are beautiful. Yeah. You are beautiful.
Thank you. I meant it for you, not for me. It's got it on both sides, so we're both beautiful.
Left
business plan. Right. Now,
so business plan, yes.
Right. Yes and no. Yeah, and I'll tell you the reason why. Yeah.
Hold that thought. It's such a contradiction, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. But I'll tell you why, though. I can break it down for you.
Let's do that.
Now, if you're self-aware and autonomous, and your word is your bond, bear in mind, if your word's your bond, your thoughts are. So in other words, when you think something and it's in place, you're committed.
Okay.
Yes, but if you're a procrastinator, if you're an overthinker, if you're an imposter, if you literally do it all on the inside and don't do anything on the outside, there was a quote I put up the other day, I can't remember, is action is the key to success or something like that. But obviously you've got to think beforehand. That's part of it. I still haven't closed that box yet. And all of those, and if you're an entrepreneur, solo entrepreneur, and you're working on your own, bear in mind, is it business plan necessary for business?
Yeah.
Right. So now, let me just put a few more I's and D's and dots on it. Is somebody that creates a space for themselves where they're self-employed, is not a business person.
Oh, wow. Say that again.
Somebody that is self-employed is not a business person. They've created their own job.
Yes. Wow.
Right. So somebody that's created their own job, that's working for themselves, that's self-employed. I didn't make the language up. I'm not discrediting anybody. I'm just saying it. The language is very descriptive. They're self-employed. They work for themselves. Which means there's no boss. They are the boss. But they're not. How do you be the boss of yourself? Lee, I want you to do X today. Okay, mate, what time do you want me to do it? So in that place, and if you're autonomous, that's in your thinking, and you can turn thoughts into actions, and you've got a bit of experience behind that, then I don't think a business plan is necessary because you're not actually a business.
Okay.
And that's one of those.
And
that sounds a bit judgmental, but I don't mean it that way. Now, a business is something that you work on, not work in. Now, you might start out as self-employed, a bit like I did. I created my own job, create my own space. Then I realised, it's 24 hours in a day, and I stretched it. I mean, when I say to you, sometimes when I say things, it sounds like I'm a big BSer, but I ain't. I mean, I'm 58 to 50, 59 in a few days. And Roz will tell you I don't sleep for 2-3 hours a day, 4 hours a day. And I can go like that for weeks. And sometimes Roz will tell you, and this sounds like complete BS, I can go days without sleep.
Wow.
Truthfully, I can work day and night, and I mean work. I don't mean like stay up watching Netflix or whatever's box it. And I can do that as well. But when I'm committed and I'm motivated, and Roz, I tell you, I can literally work days. No, now I might catnap 15 minutes. That's it, done.
Wow.
But when I was younger, and the reason I'm saying this because I stretched. I couldn't make any more time in a day, so I utilised time. I took away every task that was mundane, everything that needed my skill and everything. I manage your time, yeah. I prioritised my time. I prioritised my tasks, all in my head because I couldn't write things down, yeah, because I've got dyslexia, yeah. So I wouldn't even make notes. So yeah, I run everything in my head, and I was working like 20 to 22-hour days.
Wow, Lee.
Yeah, truthfully. And I had a guy that worked for me, and his sole job, yeah, and he had permission to do anything to me, like kick me, pour water on me, do whatever you like, get me up. Because sometimes I find it hard to get up. I remember going up flight of stairs once in the property I owned, and a bloke who, it was like a big house I rented out, and he used to be like the caretaker in it, yeah. And I left him, yeah, collected all the rents and that, was walking up the stairs, and about 10 minutes later, he was shaking me. And he said, I heard you going up the stairs. He said, then you stopped. And I actually fell asleep going up the stairs. So I stretched time to its limits. And after that night, I thought, yeah, I can't do this. And I'd done that, I mean, consistently for almost 7 years.
Is that when you say that? So is that when you come in with a business plan, Lee?
Well, that was when I started to realise, and I mean, School of Hard Knocks, let's say, where life hit me right up the ear, I'd realised, yeah, that I'd reached the level of success I could attain.
Okay.
Yeah, and I realised that I was like 20, 25 years old, and I thought, well, I mean, is this the rest of my life? Yeah. That's where I was. I wasn't thinking about success or... Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just a busy person, yeah, and wanted, I suppose, the trimmings of life around me. And I had people working for me. So I sort of transitioned without realisation, but I was everything in the business. Take me out, nobody knew what to do.
Yeah.
Now I was talking to a friend of mine, he's dead now, Bill Price, and I said to Bill, and I was lucky enough to have older people around me that were very successful business people. And I said, Bill, and I wasn't exhausted, yeah. I wasn't tired. I was really motivated doing what I was doing. It kept me busy, kept me active. And I wasn't going out with anybody. I wasn't interested in it. I was really enjoyed what I was doing. And he said, Lee, if you want to scale, he said, you need to be able to communicate to other people. I said, I'm a good communicator. And he said, I don't mean to be able to converse and get things done and delegate. He said, I've seen you. He said, you're good at delegating. He said, you're good at organising. He said, you're good at planning. He said, but take you out. He said, nobody knows. Mm-hmm. He said, what you need is a year planner. He said, what you need is a clear business plan. Where are you going? Yeah. He said, if you're on a journey and you're going like from London to say like New York, he said, you'll know everything you need to take with you. He said, you'll know what time you've got to be there. He said, you'll know the reason for going, yeah? If you're going to New York to meet with business people, he said, you'll have times and dates and everything organised. He said, that's a business plan. He said, it's an itinerary for success. So now a business plan in some of the senses for the bank, they want to know, that's their box. Yeah. Me, what I would do, and I did, I got a white wall, and I painted it with gloss. And my business plan was on an 11-foot ceiling, yeah, and a 22-foot wall. And it was all structured out. And I didn't know I couldn't write it all. So I said, well, I don't know how to do that. He said, well, that's fine. He said, if you need any help. So I said, well, yeah, I need help. So he said, fair enough. He said, what are you doing at the weekend? Now, it took us about 6 weekends. And he came and we started with bits of paper. And, of course, when he realised the scale of my business, he said, I don't even know how you got this far. He said, without a business plan. He said, right. He said, what are you going to do? He said, if you don't do it, he said, don't bother phoning me. Don't ever talk to me again. He said, you see that wall? Yeah, and I was a big Victorian house. My office was in there. He said, that wall, he said, get it painted with gloss. Yeah, and we wrote on the wall. Yeah. Wow. And there was a dado round all the way along the dado round before sticky notes. Yeah, before sticky notes was sellotape, yeah, with all these things. And I couldn't read them. I had a girl that worked for me, Jackie Brigden, and she used to go through it all. And
Wow.
like, but everything we done was for a specific reason. And every person I'd worked with me, that was broke down into different categories. So like Paul was dealing with this. The reason that's relevant, and he has to report in to Jackie and let her know this. She has to let me know that. But it was laid out for 5 years.
Wow.
We had the overall goals, and then the overall strategy to make those goals real.
Let me jump in there, because here's the thing. There's business plan, business goals. Now, do these over, because I often, when people talk about business plans to me, I'm thinking, no, that's a goal, not a plan. Business plan and business goals are separate.
Oh, yeah.
You feel?
Yeah.
Because people
plan
get mixed up.
strategy.
They get mixed up, Lee, don't they? In the
I think so.
Goals.
You got to look at it. We'll say you got to look at it. Probably 1,000 million ways to look at it, but let's look at it this way. Look at it like a board game, like Monopoly.
Okay.
Yeah. And when you look at it, you go, let's say at the beginning of the game, you're going, right, I want Mayfair and Park Lane. I'm not going to be able to start out with Mayfair and Park Lane, but my overall business goal is to own Mayfair and Park Lane and to own Oxford Street, Bond Street and Regent Street, all that side. Yeah, that's my overall objective. Then you might ask, and then you might come into, and this is where I think things cross-pollinate, then I might say, well, why? Why do you want those?
Is that a goal or a plan, though, Lee?
No, that's your outcome. See, see your outcome. So, for example, you go to a restaurant and you order dinner. So you might say, I might say to you, what are you doing tonight? I'm going out for dinner. Yeah, so that's your goal, to go out to dinner. The end of the night, your outcome is how you want to feel. Do you want to feel satisfied? Do you want to feel happy? Do you want to feel... So the outcome, the overall success isn't the goal. The goal is to get you the overall success. So it's a bit like you want, the goals, you got a car, the car is the outcome, the goals are the four wheels.
Wow, now I see that.
Right. So but then it's the eye-based thinking. And bear in mind, I don't mean selfish-based thinking. I think most entrepreneurs aren't selfish at all. They're very focused. They can seem arrogant. They can seem dismissive. They're not. They're just anything that's irrelevant, not the people, is redundant to them. They've got like ADHD on focus if they're a good entrepreneur. But what most people do is, I think, I'm not saying I'm right, but from working with a lot of entrepreneurs, and being in this space like for years, is they get a very fundamental part wrong. And if they get this piece right, it actually serves them, so many different ways. Is on that wall, because Bill Price said to me, a very smart guy, and bear in mind we debated this, debated it, there was a few F's involved and a few, So, and he was a bit older than me, he was a bit like my granddad. I was like, bear in mind, he would have been like, I don't know, 50, my age now. And I was like 24, 25, thereabouts. And he said, I've never seen anybody so driven. He said, but you're as thick as shit. He said, it's like talking to two planks. And he said, you got wood up top. A chip. He said, no, you got a chip on it. He said, this was his Zig Ziglar line. This was the days before I knew about Zig Ziglar. He said, you got a chip on your shoulder. I said, I ain't got a chip on your shoulder. He said, you have. He said, you have for success. He said, to prove yourself. He said, that ain't success. Mm-hmm. And then years later, I come across Zig Ziglar, and Zig Ziglar said, he said, most people, he said, and I think it comes into a business plan. He said, I haven't got a business plan. He said, I've got a chip on each shoulder. He said, you know what that is? Wood up top. Yeah. So goals and outcome, and this is where I'm joining together. You've got to know why you want it. So you could come back to Simon Sinek with why, look like your passion, whatever. And a lot of people get caught in their why. If I know my why, then I'm going to be successful. No, it's a bit like a salad. Yeah. I've got lettuce. Yeah, it's not a salad, it's lettuce. Now, having a why is just a piece of lettuce in the salad. Okay. Yeah, because, and bear in mind, my why, very selfish. And you can't be successful if you're in the eye-based thinking. You have to be encompassing. You have to be like in a community type vibe, yeah? So what I mean by that is, if it's all about you and it's just about money in the bank, money's dead. It means nothing. All it is like having a hammer on your shelf. It's just a tool. But you've got to think beyond what you want.
Okay.
Yeah, and so goals. So this is where, when you come into goals, I would say this: you've got to have goals that are personal.
Okay.
Yeah, that supersede goals that are business. So what I mean is, one of the goals might be for the business to be successful. Why do you want to be successful? Because I want a nice house.
Okay.
And yeah, so is the house for the business or for you? No, the house is for me. So I want the business to be successful so I can take a good salary out of it so I've got a nice house. Yeah. But I want a nice house. Why do you want a nice house, Steve? Well, I want my kids to have a nice home. Now I'm getting into the community family vibe. Mm-hmm. So it's important to me. At the same time, that's just that. So the business now is supporting my personal goals. So, yeah. But then I might want my kids to go to a good school. I might want them to go to good colleges. So now I've got to think, I've got to start planning my personal goals. So I know when I go, so when we come back to Simonson, it's why it's not disrespecting him. I know why I'm doing it. Mm-hmm. I might have a passion or a purpose, as in I want to make a bit like Al Davis. Al Davis does property, but Al Davis has got a desire, and a quality about him where he wants to give people good homes. I don't know why that is. That's his own business, but he's not just in business. He's actually got his character and his honour and his integrity, and he's a decent man, and he wants to give people good homes. So you can see his character in what he does. So he's deep dived a bit, yeah? So 5 goals you need, 5 areas of goals you need to do. Yeah, is
this part of the business plan, though, Lee? Is this part of the
No. This is to support the business plan, because if you lose motivation, if you lose inspiration, if you lose passion, if you lose clarity, and see, plan is for the left brain. Okay. You got to know why. So the challenge is with that, if you don't communicate that, you'll say something on a Monday, one of your team will go, "Oh no, we need to focus here," and you can get this is where people mess up big time. It's a bit like getting to a roundabout. Most days in business are a bit like a roundabout. And it's a roundabout, a bit like that one in France. It's so busy and there's so many things coming in and going out at the same time. And you get there with your team and your team's going, "We got to go here, we got to go there, we got to do this, got to do that." Mrs. Jones has been on the phone. And all that's coming at you in real time. A business plan is for you to be able to go, "We're going that way. John, you're going that way. Mary, you're going that way. We're going, and I'm going this way." You believe Mrs. Jones needs that yet? Talk to Paul. What do you mean? She wants you. Talk to Paul.
Wow.
Yeah. I need to be able to know where I'm going and where I need to be and what I need to do, And then I need my team. And I say, "Well, Paul, you phone Mrs. Jones. Tell her why I can't phone her."
Yeah.
And I would pick somebody to represent the best part of me. Yeah, I wouldn't now. I might have somebody else who's a foreman on a job, and he might be good with builders, but no good with Mrs. Jones. Well, Mrs. Jones, do you realise what we're trying to do? Where I need somebody with a bit of personality, and where builders on the building site or a foreman, I mean, if some of the people on the building site, their builders talk to each other, they'd be blessing themselves, because it's straight talk, because they're in action and everything has to be done a certain way. If not, people get hurt or the job doesn't get complete. And in the builder's world, if they don't complete on time, they get money took away from them. Not the worker, but the boss, So everything's very accountable. And if it's not done to a certain quality, there's a snag list, somebody's walking around checking everybody's work and going, "John, back here, you've done that smoke detector wrong. Yeah, don't do the rest like that, whatever. That brake glass on the wrong side of the door." You've got a lot going on because you've got a plan. You've got a specific plan in the building world where everything's going to be, every pipe, every cable, every RSJ, everything. And everybody, last bit, everybody has to comply to that plan. That's a business plan. If you're building a house, you have to have it that detailed, but the plan won't make the business.
Wow, I got it. So we got 30 seconds. Is it passion, plan, goal, success? Or I got the order wrong?
Right. Personally, you need 3 feelings. What motivates you? That's I would say your physiology. What motivates you? What drives you? Yeah. Then you got your passion, your chi energy. What inspires you? What makes you proud? Yeah. And then you got the emotion. What makes you happy? What gives you joy? You've got to have something to give you those three feelings, because if you don't, it's just task-driven, which means it's dead. It has no life in it. It's just, I've got to do this.
Yeah.
You got when you do your business or your goals or you're planning it, you got all the drawings and all the scale, the engineer stuff, and then you got to put three feelings into it. You got to know why you're doing it, and then when you're talking to your partner, your wife, your husband, they know why you're emotionally, physically, and passionately invested in it, and your team should know, and you should align with people that have similar feelings, and life's much easier.
Lee Tenney Ware, thank you. Again, you've blown things out of the park. It's absolutely beautiful. I love you to bits. Yes, you are beautiful. You are stunning. It has been absolutely wonderful. And guys, do remember, subscribe to the channel. Also, please connect to myself on Lee Tenney Ware, because he's there for you. Always, actually, he's there for everybody. And I do tell him, stop being too there, for sure. Yeah. But he's such a generous person. And I'm still punching above his weight, by the way, because Roz is a very beautiful lady. I'm more beautiful than Lee, but Lee does make up for it in other ways. Happy days until this time next week. People will say bye for now and boom.